Good evening and welcome to South Central League Baseball from the Lily Pad in Menno. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio, 1015 FM, 1570 AM, KBTK, and on 5-Star Streaming on YouTube. This is your home for South Central League Baseball this year, and we'll be doing a number of games, and Galen Guthmiller did tell me he's going to get me the district schedule so we can get that out to you as well. But we've done a few games already this season. Have about 7 or 8 more to do, about one a week. Except that 4th of July weekend, I'm going to be doing one. Everyone seems to be having a fireworks show, so I'll be busy on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th doing some South Central League baseball. So that should be a fun time. And again, 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio are your home. Now, each week we will also try to preview the game of the week on At the Mic. At the Mic airs Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., brought to you by JR's Oasis. And then those interviews you can find that we do, we'll upload them to our YouTube channel, At the Mic with Michael Schumacher on YouTube. I think we're at 29 subscribers, so if you want to be number 30, I'm sure I've got some money in it for you, maybe 30 cents, a penny per subscriber, something like that. I don't know. They don't give me much of a budget to work with, but would love to see you there as a subscriber. So this morning on the show, we had Dustin Livingston and Tom Sattler. Want to make sure, all of a sudden it wasn't sounding right, but yeah. So we had them on, but we will upload those interviews to that YouTube channel. And once you go there, there are playlists, and South Central League Baseball is part of that playlist, along with all the schools that we cover, from Alcester, Hudson, and Avon, Beersford, all the way down to Vermilion and Yankton. We have about 22 schools that we cover altogether. So if you're interested, tomorrow morning, I will have an interview with former Yankton Gazelle and SDSU Jackrabbit basketball player Chloe Korneman. We will have an interview with Tri-County Sundog and Irene Cardinal. He's going to be here tonight. Noah Hansen, he's a future Mount Marty University baseball player. That'll be in the fall. And then during the 8 o'clock hour, we will have Dylan Wagner, who was recently named Honorable Mention All-State for Vermilion for softball, broke the single-game strikeout record that was held by Maya Halverson earlier this year at 16. So 16 strikeouts. So that was a fun interview with Dylan. And then we'll wrap it up with Nate Robertson, former Vermilion tanager and Vermilion Post 1 baseball player, is now a coach for the SDSU Jackrabbits. And he was part of that coaching staff with the Jackrabbits that took on the Huskers that made it to the College World Series or the NCAA tournament. They went down to Lincoln. Unfortunately, fell to the Huskers and fell to Arizona State, but a great opportunity for him. He was also a former Mount Marty University baseball player. So that's our show tomorrow. And again, by the weekend, those will be uploaded. I'll try to do that as soon as the show's done tomorrow. I'll be hitting the road, heading to Rapid City. Joyce Jefferson and the Black Hills Community Theater has invited me to be a part of their Juneteenth celebrations, so it's kind of too cool to pass up. So I'll be heading out to Rapid tomorrow for that presentation and that event on Saturday. All right, well, let's take a look. Obviously, we love covering baseball, but we can't do it for free. We'd love to. I would love to do this for free, but, it costs money, equipment and transportation, all of that. And so we rely on our advertisers. And so we want to make sure that we're giving them as many shout-outs as we can. So you'll see their ads during the game. But first, I just want to give them a complete rundown here. Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance Agency, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, Lakeview Golf Course in Crofton. They just had their grand opening or their ribbon cutting on their new clubhouse. Joe's Substation in rural Lesterville, James Steele, Central Farmers Cooperative, Corner Nugget, Menno State Bank, High Street Insurance and Financial Services, Greg Davis Excavation in Irene, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, Cedar Security Bank, The Keg, Tabor Lumber Co-op, I already said them, I apologize, TLC Propane, Tabor Lumber Co-op, that's where my brain went, but TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, Beer Garden in Menno, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Larson Carpet, Pecos Repair, Rural Manufacturing, and Hoots Bar in Freeman. So again, we couldn't do it without them. You'll see them scrolling across the top. You'll see their ads throughout the game. But, of course, we can't ask you to, can't say, hey, buy from them. But what we can ask is that give them a chance to compete. That's all we can ask. That's all they can ask, whether it's service, selection, price, or just the fact that, all things being equal, that they support your local athletics. Whatever determines it, just give them a shot. And if they can't win it, well, that's all they can ask is the opportunity. So we do encourage that, because without their financial support of this, we're not able to do this. We're not able to go to state and broadcast from state. We're not able to make sure we have somebody at all the district games. So it's a way to keep this going. And so, because if you love amateur baseball, like I love amateur baseball, growing up in Crofton, I don't know that you can grow up without loving amateur baseball. We want to see this continue. All right. Well, we'll be back after these messages. This is, again, amateur baseball, South Central League Baseball. And this is all part of the Hanson Briggs pregame show here on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion and Yankton, along with 5-star streaming on YouTube.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Menno Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Menno Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Menno.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is proud to serve the northeast Nebraska and surrounding tri-state area of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. When you need feed for your livestock, they haul dry or liquid right to your farm. When you need fertilizer, they also haul dry or liquid. Why not give Jones Feed and Grain Trucking a call to save you time and money with your feed or fertilizer needs? That's Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska, serving the tri-state area.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Living in the Midwest, driving miles to work, our vehicle needs to be in the best running condition possible. And when you have problems like brakes or belts or alignment, you take it to Pecos Repair in Tabor. Justin and his ASE certified techs will take care of your vehicle, fix it right, and you'll be back on the road in no time. And you may as well get the air conditioning checked now, too. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Pecos Repair, 605-463-2354. To schedule an appointment, give them a call. Pecos Repair.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball, brought to you by Hanson Briggs, the Hanson Briggs pregame show. Hanson Briggs, your specialty advertising company in Yankton, your local source for all your printing and promotional needs. And just a reminder, we will always pause for the National Anthem. National Anthem is brought to you by the South Dakota Special Olympics, sponsored by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty. Our scoreboard sponsor is Grassland Heating and Cooling. Who's on Deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And pitching changes are brought to you by Mama J's in Cafe and Bar in Irene. All right, let's look at our upcoming schedule of South Central League Baseball. So obviously tonight you have Irene versus Menno. Other games going on, Wynot at Tabor, Crofton at Lesterville, and Freeman at Yankton. On Sunday, June 14th, we will not be covering a game. I will be, like I said, in Rapid. But next Thursday, a week from tonight, we'll be in Tabor. That's kind of the kickoff for check days, so that's always a fun time, always a huge crowd. So we'll be there as Lesterville takes on Tabor. And then you have Irene versus Freeman and Wynot at Menno that night. Thursday, June 25th, then the next week, we'll be in Irene as Lesterville takes on Irene. Also games that night, Menno at Tabor and Yankton at Wynot. And then that coming weekend, so the next weekend, Thursday, July 2nd, I'll be in Lesterville as Tabor takes on Lesterville. On the 3rd, I'll be in Crofton as the Expos of Wynot take on the Blue Jays of Crofton. On the 4th of July, I'll be right back here in Menno as the Freeman Black Sox come to town. And then on July 5th, I'll be in Freeman as the Tabor Bluebirds travel to Freeman. Then that Thursday, July 9th, it's Tabor at Yankton. And then Thursday, July 16th, Irene at Tabor. Districts start on July 23rd, run through August 1st. They'll be here in Menno. So we'll be here for almost all of those, if not all of them. And then the state tournament is back at its home in Mitchell. That'll be August 5th through 16th. So Mitchell always does a great job. So we will be at the state tournament. Now those we can't live stream video. Those will be radio. Will provide audio only streams on 5-Star Streaming, and we'd love for you to follow us there. But I will be traveling to Mitchell for those broadcasts. I guess, God willing, I'll be traveling to Mitchell for those broadcasts. So those are the games that we have coming up for the South Central League. And let's take a look at standings right now, as it's a really evenly matched season this year. So on top you have the Yankton Lakers. Now remember, they're a Class A team, so they do not factor into the mix for postseason. They're not part of the district or the state tournament for the rest of the teams. They battle in a different area. They're Class A. Then Class B, Lesterville at 4-1 on top. Freeman at 3-2. Tabor at 3-3. Menno at 2-3. Wynot at 2-3. Crofton at 2-4. And then Irene at 0-6. Now that 0-6, I caution you, I think they're a lot like Menno from a couple years ago, where Menno I don't know that they had a win all season long in the South Central League, but what they ended up doing is they went on a run in the districts, and so they were able to make it to state. And this Irene team feels like it has that sense to it, and so I'm not sure, but they're always competitive, they're always scrapping, and so this Irene team has a lot of potential to it. So keep an eye on them. And the most recent amateur baseball poll came out in South Dakota, and Lesterville's receiving votes, but nobody's in that top 10 from the South Central League, because I think everyone is so evenly matched, and that's the key. And so I think the teams that the South Central League ends up sending to state are going to compete well, especially because there's so much quality talent on the teams that won't make it, whomever doesn't make it. A lot of great players that you can say, yeah, that's somebody we would want. So keep an eye on the South Central League, and we'll be doing updates again on At the Mic throughout the season, and we'll have interviews, and of course we'll have at least weekly games. And like I said, that 4th of July weekend we'll be doing a boatload of games, and so you'll get sick of hearing my voice. All right, well, we're going to keep rolling here. We'll be back after these messages. This is South Central League Baseball, and this is the Hanson Briggs pregame show. Again, Hanson Briggs, your specialty advertising source in Yankton for all of your printing and promotional needs. From Menno's Lily Pad, I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be right back.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoot's Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoot says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off-sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoot's Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoot's Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provide, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family-run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx, and so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1, and on Wednesday it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9, so when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx!
James Steel is a general contractor specializing in steel buildings for more than 45 years. James Steel has been building a strong industry, providing pre-engineered Varco-prudent buildings across South Dakota, northwest Iowa, and northeast Nebraska. From agriculture and commercial projects to fire halls, community centers, aviation, and storage buildings. As a leader in the steel building industry, James Steel of Yankton can offer customers more building at better prices. Call 605-689-7321 for your free estimate and start building with strength, quality, and experience you can trust.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
Welcome back to the Lily Pad in Menno as we get ready for more South Central League baseball as the Menno Mad Frogs are hosting the Irene Cardinals. And now I did have a number of Irene Cardinals on my show. We've had a couple of them. Also a few Menno Mad Frogs. So they're going to be out there today. Well, maybe on the bench. I know they're not always the first ones in just because they want the older players that are volunteering their time to get in. But, so if you're tuning in tomorrow morning, we'll have Chloe Corneman, former Yankton High School great in basketball. And she is in the Yankton Hall of Fame. She's also at the a graduate of SDSU. She's a former Jackrabbit, part of their basketball program, part of the Corneman family, obviously, in Yankton. And her sister, Ketty, who I'm also now trying to get on the show as well. That'll be part of the 7 o'clock hour. Noah Hansen will be at the tail end of the 7 o'clock hour. He is part of the Irene Wakanda. He's an Irene Wakanda alum. He's going to be playing baseball at Mount Marty. He's part of the Tri-County Sundogs, and he's part of the Irene Cardinals baseball team. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we will have Dylan Wagner of Vermilion Tanager softball, who set the single-game strikeout record earlier this season with 16. She's entering her freshman year at Vermilion High School. And then to close it out, we will have Nate Robertson, graduate of Vermilion High School, who is now he's an alum of Mount Marty, played baseball for the Lancers and Coach Bernardo and Tycro. Well, he is now an assistant coach at the South Dakota State University Jackrabbits, and that baseball program made the national tournament, lost in their first 2 games, one against Nebraska and one against Arizona State, but an amazing time for him, so I had a chance to talk with him. That'll be the last half of tomorrow's 8 o'clock hour, so hopefully you can tune in for that as we look forward to some more great shows. And so, yeah, and hopefully I can get a starting lineup here. That's part of the problem is I start early enough, but they don't have the lineups done, and so then I go live, and so hopefully we can. It looks like I might be able to get a picture here, so I'm going to take a quick timeout, and when I come back, I should be able to get some starting lineups to you.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC. Proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
All right, welcome back. Like I said, I now have Menno's starting lineup for us, so let's get that out there for you. Part of the Hanson-Briggs pregame show. But the starting lineup, a little bit breezy, but we're under the canopy here, so that helps. But leading off and playing center field, the speedster, number 5, Dylan Lair. Batting second and playing right field, number 15, Nick Ratzloff. Batting third and catching, number 17, Connor Merriam. Batting cleanup and pitching, number 24, Macon Opplinger. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 3, Corey Keppen. And Corey was on my show this morning, but his dad missed it, so we are going to get that. We are going to get that link to him tomorrow morning. And then Kyle Monkfold, batting sixth and playing first base, number 27, Kyle Monkfold. And then Braden Sattler, playing third base, number 9. Batting seventh, number 3, A.J. Hairbolt. And batting ninth, shortstop, number 2, Bryce Sattler. So Macon Opplinger is on the mound as well, batting cleanup and on the mound. On the bench for Menno, you have number 23, Trent Guthmiller, who was also on my show. yesterday. Eric Beekler, number 12. Tyler Miller, number 10. Tom Sattler, number 29, who was on my show this morning. And Doug Hall, number 23. So, again, I hate to be sounding like I'm pimping my show, but a lot of the players that you're going to be hearing from, we get on the show. And especially the Legion players, the younger players, we do highlight them. But we like to highlight the older players as well that are playing it for the love of the game. That is just a fun part of it. So hopefully we can get the Irene starting lineup, or I might have to do it as they announce them from the press box. So we'll figure out a way, but I'm going to need to get this one written down. So we're going to take a quick break as part of the Hanson Briggs pregame show, and we'll be back with more. This is South Central League Baseball from Menno's Lily Pad. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and on 5 Star Streaming on YouTube.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
All right, we are back, and they're just talking. They are going to do the national anthem. Our national anthem brought to you by the South Dakota Special Olympics and sponsored by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty. All right, that was our national anthem. We will always pause for that. Brought to you by the South Dakota Special Olympics and sponsored by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty. So I believe we'll be getting some starting lineups here. So again, I think we're getting them right now. Starting lineups. We'll see. So, not quite yet, I guess. All right, and so what we're looking at is, we pause for the national anthem. I always want to make sure I mention the veterans in my life. My daughter, who currently serves in the National Guard in North Carolina. I want to thank her for her service. My dad, Gary Schumacher, who served in the Vietnam War era. My uncle Leroy, who served in the Korean War era. My late uncle George Dyson, and late Uncle Dick Harvey, who served in the Korean War era as well. And I want to thank them for their service. And Chris Keeler, who was a groomsman in my wedding and has passed away, but did serve, and a longtime player in the amateur baseball for Crofton. So I want to remember him as well. And we at the 5-Star Communications want to make sure we mention Corbin Gunther, who's done a number of things for us, broadcasting, streaming, stuff like that. They had to have an emergency delivery of his baby at 30 weeks, so they're, keep him in your thoughts and prayers, because that's early. So I texted him today, and right now sounds like things are okay, but you never know. So keep Corbin and his bride-to-be in your thoughts. As we get ready to start, this is South Central League Baseball, and we want to thank Hanson Briggs for sponsoring our pregame show. So they never did announce starting lineups, so we'll kind of be going as we go here. Here's the first pitch, and that's a strike. Ball 1-1. So I'd tell you who's on deck, but I'm not sure. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. That ball's laced into right field, and that is a single. That is Tucker Martz. So Tucker. Now Bryant Knodel bats second. So Bryant Knodel was who was on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. So one batter, one on. First pitch from Opplinger. Knodel squares to bunt. Doesn't offer at it, and that does escape Merriam just a little bit. So that'll be 1-0. And now runner at second. Martz moves down to second. So here's the 1-0 pitch. Ball's in the dirt, gets away from Merriam. So now runner at third, nobody down, 2-0 count. So 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on third. Nobody out here. Opplinger looks over, winds and delivers. That pitch is in for a strike, 2-1. On deck is Dustin Livingston. That one did not curve for him, so 3 balls, 1 strike for Opplinger on Bryant Knodel. And that pitch is in the dirt, and that is a walk. So first 2 runners are aboard for Irene. So runners at first and third, that brings up Dustin Livingston. Number 3, center fielder. No, pitcher Dustin Livingston. Oh, so pitcher Dustin Livingston. Interesting. First pitch is a ball to Dustin Livingston. 1-0. One 1-0 pitch coming from Opplinger to Livingston. Runners at first and third, nobody down. That's low, 2-0. So again, Irene winless, but not, I don't think that's indicative of how good this team is going to be. So Opplinger now down 2-0. Ooh, just low, 3-0. So Opplinger not off to the start that he would like to see. Livingston would love to get a hold of one here, get it into the outfield, get that first run across. And wow, that is a 4-pitch walk, so loads the bases. Nobody out here in the top half of the first inning. Anthony De La Torre now up. Cleanup hitter tonight. Pitch is popped up for a strike, 0-1. So again, Opplinger in a bit of a jam here. Bases loaded, nobody out. So no balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, nobody on, or nobody out. And that is a ball, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out with the bases loaded here in the top of the first. Irene would love to get out to a nice lead. Opplinger comes in. That's in for a strike. First two-strike count for Opplinger. That pitch is high, 2-2. Beautiful night out here at the lily pad. Grass is green, a little bit of a breeze. It's just absolutely spotlessly perfect for baseball. Here's the pitch coming from Opplinger. Time is called from Anthony De La Torre. Two-two pitch from Opplinger. Fouled off. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. So De La Torre steps back in. Swing and a miss, and that is the first out of the inning. And that is a strikeout for Opplinger as De La Torre goes down. So now with 1 down, that brings up right fielder Garrett Jorgensen with Preston Gall on deck. That pitch is laced into left field, and that'll hit the bottom of the fence. They had to hold up in case it was caught, so everyone just advances 1 run or 1 base, but that does bring across the first run of the game for Irene. So that is a single to left field for Garrett Jorgensen. Brings up Preston Gall. So 1-0 lead for Irene. That pitch is in for a strike to Gall. 0-1. Sweeper does not sweep. Sweeper no sweeping. You know, for your Dora fans, right? Because I know there are a ton of you out there that are Dora fans. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with the bases loaded to Preston Gall. Here's Opplinger's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1-2. You know, Opplinger would love to get a double play ball here, get out of this inning with just the one run coming across. That pitch is hit out into right field. It will drop in, and that will score one run. And again, they had to hold up just in case it was caught. So that single leads to one more run scoring, but bases stay loaded. So they haven't been able to get that big hit because they've all been hung up there just enough that they couldn't advance more than that one base. So Elliot Jorgensen steps up. So that pitch is low, 1-0. So 2 runs have come across, but bases are loaded. 1 down for Elliot Jorgensen as Opplinger looking to try to get out of this inning. Pitch is hit, and that's going to be caught out there, but they're going to tag. And Dustin Livingston will score on the sacrifice by Elliot Jorgensen. Now, nobody else advanced, so runners at first and second, 2 down, but 3 runs have come across for the Cardinals. Dustin Livingston did not know that before he played for Dakota Wesleyan University for football as a wide receiver. All right. So here's the first pitch to Noah Hansen. That's laced into deep right field. Will that hang up there? That will be caught out there for the 3rd out of the inning. Good contact, but just to the wrong location. So in the inning, 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors at the end of half an inning. It's Irene 3, Menno nothing. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first inning after these messages on our Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
Everyone wants a bank that cares about them to be more than just an account with a balance. Cedar Security Bank is committed to getting to know their customers and answering all their financial questions with honest answers about their money and investments. Cedar Security Bank has locations in Fordyce, Hardington, and Wynot with convenient 24-hour ATMs in all 3 locations. Stop in and visit Cedar Security Bank when you have questions about your accounts. Cedar Security Bank, member FDIC.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and 5-star streaming on YouTube. I'm Michael Schumacher, and leading off this inning for Menno will be Dylan Lair, followed by Nick Ratzloff and Connor Merriam. First pitch to Lair is a ball from Dustin Livingston, 1-0. Our battery tonight is Dustin Livingston and Elliot Jorgensen. Who's on deck? Well, that's Nick Ratzlaff, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Second pitch swung on and missed by Lair, 1-1. Lair, one of the faster, if not the fastest in South Central League, and that is a called strike two. So he's somebody you always try to get out, you know? That's a ball, evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on. And the first batter here in the bottom half of the first inning. That ball is chopped down the third baseline, and that will roll foul. Count remains 2-2. So let's line up the defense. Dustin Livingston pitching, Elliot Jorgensen catching. At first base, it's Anthony De La Torre. At second, it's Preston Gall. At short, it's Tucker Martz. And at third base, Joe DeLange. So Joe DeLange at third base. In the outfield, left to right, Noah Hansen, Bryant Knodel, and Garrett Jorgensen. That pitch laced past the third base coach. That's fouled as Tom Sattler was able to get out of the way. So Lair still battling 2-2, making Livingston work for it. That pitch is made contact. That's to shallow center field, but that will be caught out there. Caught out there by Bryant Knodel. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Brings up right fielder Nick Ratzlaff. On deck, catcher Connor Merriam. Again, who's on deck? That was brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tabor. Or Tyndall, sorry. Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. I apologize. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 0-1 on Ratzlaff. So we are in Menno. This will be the home of districts for District 6B. Here's Livingston's second pitch. That's in for a strike. Quickly ahead, 0-2 on Ratzlaff. And again, your new home on the radio dial, Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM for South Central League Baseball. Ooh, inside, 1-2. Of course, still on 5-star streaming on YouTube. So Ratzlaff, a left-handed batter, awaits the pitch from Livingston. Just outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down, nobody on. Here in the bottom half of the first inning, Irene out to a 3-0 lead as Livingston winds and delivers. That's in for called strike 3. Ratzlaff goes down looking. That's 2 up, 2 down in the bottom half of the first. So that brings up Connor Merriam on deck. Pitcher Macon Oplinger. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. Two-0 pitch, just out of the zone, quickly behind, 3-0. Livingston is to Merriam. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 3-1. That pitch is in the dirt as Connor Merriam will now be aboard after a walk. First base runner for Menno. Brings up pitcher Macon Opplinger. Eric Beekler courtesy running for Connor Merriam. So again, pitcher Macon Opplinger comes up with the runner on, 2 down here in the bottom half of the first with them Menno trailing Irene 3-0. That's ball 1. So here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit down the third baseline. Throw across. And DeLange fields it cleanly over to De La Torre for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 1 inning of play, it's Irene 3, Menno nothing. We'll be back right after these messages.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube from the Lily Pad in Menno. I'm Michael Schumacher. Batting this inning for Irene will be number 9, third baseman Jake DeLange, and then the top of the order with Tucker Martz and Bryant Knodel. Who's on deck? Well, that's Tucker Martz. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Irene leads 3-0. First pitch to DeLange is a ball, 1-0. That's in for a strike, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out, nobody on to the first batter here in the second inning. That's outside, 2-1. Low, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jake DeLange. He was the starting pitcher on Sunday night against Wynot, and that is a walk. So Jake DeLange is on base, on first. Leadoff runner on again for Irene. That'll bring up the top of the order and Tucker Martz, who singled to lead off the game. On deck is Bryant Knodel. I was talking with Bryant's fiance earlier. He is getting married in April. First pitch is a strike to Tucker Martz. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Opplinger, as DeLange has a pretty nice lead over at first. Opplinger working from the stretch. That is knocked into right field, coming in and making the catch. And DeLange does get back, but boy, nice play out there in right field. As Nick Ratzloff came in, made a sliding catch. So one down here in the top half of the second inning. Brings up center fielder Bryant Canodal on deck. Pitcher Dustin Livingston. That first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Pitch is a ball. 1-1. Pitch is popped up and just beyond the Menno dugout, so makes it 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that's laced into center field. And that will be caught out there for the second out of the inning. So 2 down, runner on first. DeLange still at first, and that will bring up Dustin Livingston. On deck is first baseman Anthony De La Torre. First pitch to Livingston, inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Nope. They fake over to first. DeLange steps back in. Livingston pops that up. That will be out of play. Oop. As you could hear, it hit the top of the grandstand here. Count is 1-1. Now, I keep hearing about the concession stand here. I'm going to have to see if I can sneak on over there to a hot dog or something. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out with 1 on here in the top half of the second. Irene leads 3-0. Got all 3 of those runs in the first inning. Opplinger works from the stretch. Comes set, comes home. That is a ball, 2-1. Again, had Dustin Livingston on the show this morning, along with Tom Sattler. Opplinger pitches. That is grounded straight up the middle. Hits second base and bounces into shallow right field. But DeLange has to stay at second. But boy, that could have been a mess for Menno the way that bounced. But that is a single. That is a single for Dustin Livingston. So he's been on twice. And that brings up number 8, first baseman Anthony De La Torre. So De La Torre batting. He struck out swinging in his first time up. Whoa. And that was right into the back of De La Torre. And so now bases are loaded. Bases are loaded for right fielder Garrett Jorgensen. So De La Torre at first, Livingston at second, and DeLange at third. Bases loaded again this inning. But this time with 2 down as Jorgensen, who singled his first time up, comes up to bat. Time is called. That ball is hit to the mound. Opplinger fields cleanly. The throw over to first. Oh, fielded beautifully there by Kyle Munkfold, who makes it on over and scrambles back and is able to tag first base. So a 1-3 putout for the third out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base at the end of 1.5. It is Irene 3, Menno nothing. On the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, we'll be back after these messages.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Menno Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Menno Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Menno.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is proud to serve the northeast Nebraska and surrounding tri-state area of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. When you need feed for your livestock, they haul dry or liquid right to your farm. When you need fertilizer, they also haul dry or liquid. Why not give Jones Feed and Grain Trucking a call to save you time and money with your feed or fertilizer needs? That's Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska, serving the tri-state area.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball, brought to you by our sponsors. I'm Michael Schumacher on 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio. And I'm Michael Schumacher. As we enter the bottom half of the second inning, Irene leads Menno by a score of 3-0. And there's a shot past the shortstop, and so a leadoff single for Corey Keppen. Corey, who was a guest on my show this morning with a single, and that's the first hit of the game for Menno. So they now have a runner at first, and that brings up Kyle Munkfold, who made a beautiful play to get back to the base to get the third out. On deck is Braden Sattler, the third baseman. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Haygrinding in Tyndall. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. And I do have a district schedule now, so it's from Galen. It's a little confusing, but we'll kind of go through it here as we go. That pitch is low, 2-0 to Kyle Munkfold. Does look like on the 23rd, we'll have one game at 7:30. On the 24th, 2 games. It's an off day on the 25th, which is Saturday, I believe. Yes. So on Thursday, a game, 2 on Friday, and then on Sunday, 1 game at about 6. Monday off, Tuesday 2 games, Wednesday off, Thursday 2 games, Friday off, Saturday on the 1st, 1 game for the championship. That is a ball, 3-1 now. So we will be covering all of those games, and that'll be right back here at the Lily Pad in Menno. They're going to take time out, switch balls here. Always good hospitality here in Menno. We'll be here for the 4th of July game. And I know Jeanette Ulmer's going to be out, I think, on the patio selling beer, selling something. I'll have to look that up. I told her I'd give her a shout out. There's a hit over to third for 1. Over to second, not in time. So they do get the lead runner for the first out, but Munkfold is still on first via a fielder's choice. So 1 down, 1 on. And that brings up third baseman Braden Sattler. On deck is left fielder A.J. Hairbolt. That pitch is lifted into left field. Gliding over and making the catch is Noah Hansen. Noah Hansen, who will be on my show tomorrow morning right here on this radio station at about 7:40. About 7:40, so a nice catch there by Noah. So 2 down, runner at first. That brings up number 3, left fielder A.J. Hairbolt. On deck is shortstop Bryce Sattler. Swing and a miss. Munkfold down to second, and he's in safely with a stolen base. So Hairbolt now behind 0-1, but runner now in scoring position for Menno. They'd love to get that first run on the board, as they're now down 3-0. That one's fouled back, 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up, lifted over by first, Anthony De La Torre. He will take care of that for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2, it's Irene 3, Menno nothing on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back after a few messages from our sponsors on 5-Star Streaming on YouTube and Fox Sports Radio.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the jump done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Living in the Midwest, driving miles to work, our vehicle needs to be in the best running condition possible. And when you have problems like brakes or belts or alignment, you take it to Pecos Repair in Tabor. Justin and his ASE certified techs will take care of your vehicle, fix it right, and you'll be back on the road in no time. And you may as well get the air conditioning checked now, too. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Pecos Repair, 605-463-2354. To schedule an appointment, give them a call. Pecos Repair.
Welcome back to 5-Star Streaming on YouTube and Fox Sports Radio, as we're bringing you South Central League Baseball from Menno, South Dakota. Batting this inning will be Preston Gall, Elliot Jorgensen, and Noah Hansen. Who's on deck? Elliot Jorgensen. That's who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Irene leads 3-0. As Gall steps up, Macon Opplinger started for Menno, still on the mound. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. That pitch curves in for a strike, 1-1. Just misses the inside corner, 2-1. Boy, those shadows make it tough to see. I do apologize for that. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch is laced into... Ooh, that is... They tried to field it at first, and I'm not sure if it would have landed fair or not, but Munkfold tried to make the play. And so that will be a single for Preston Gall. So that puts a runner at first. That is the 5th hit of the game for Irene. And that brings up Elliot Jorgensen. So number 3, catcher Elliot Jorgensen is up. He sacrificed in a run in the first inning, so he has no official plate appearances. On deck, left fielder Noah Hansen, who made a nice play out in left field earlier. Here's the first pitch from Opplinger. That's a ball, 1-0. Boy, thought it looked good from here, but I'm not the umpire. Jason Vaith is behind the plate. He always does a nice job, so count is 1-0. That one's low, 2-0. Again, I want to thank Grassland Heating and Cooling for being our scoreboard sponsor. And again, if we have a pitching change, that'll be brought to you by Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene. That pitch is in for a strike, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming from Opplinger. It's popped up. Munkvold will take care of that one right next to first. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So, Elliot Jorgensen is out on a pop-up to Munkvold. That'll bring up left fielder Noah Hansen, who flew out to right field to end the first inning. On deck is third baseman Jake DeLang. Pitch is popped up out of play, 0-1. Again, Noah will be on my show right on this radio station around 7:40 tomorrow, and then later tomorrow it will be available on the YouTube channel for the show, At the Mic with Michael Schumacher. That one's laced into left field. That one's going deep, and that one's going to reach the... That's a home run. That is a home run. Nope. Must have bounced over or under the fence. That is a ground rule double, though, for Hansen. So puts runners at second and third, and that is the 6th hit of the game. So runners now at second and third on the ground rule double by Noah Hansen. So that brings up left-handed hitting third baseman Jake DeLang. DeLang walked his first time up. And then on deck is the top of the order and Tucker Martz. That pitch is high outside. Merriam comes out of the crouch to come get that one. 1-0. Good crowd here tonight. About 10 cars in the outfield. People out there. And then both of the stands to the first base and third base line are full. So we'll take a quick break as they're going to have a discussion at the mound. We'll be back right after this.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot roll services available.
All right, the mound visit was not as long as I thought it was going to be. Here's the pitch from Opplinger. That's in for a strike. 1-1. So appreciate Rural Manufacturing. Had to cut short their ad, but thank you to Rural Manufacturing. They are always willing, almost always willing to sponsor when it comes to Freeman Athletics, whether it's Black Sox or Freeman High School, Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy, Phoenix, whatever it might be, they are there. That pitch is in for a strike, 1-2. Opplinger winds and delivers. Runners at second and third, evens the count at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, runners at second and third. Preston Gall at third, Noah Hansen at second. Jake DeLang at bat, the left-handed hitting third baseman. Opplinger looks in. Winds and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So DeLang goes down, swinging at a strike there for the second out of the inning. So now you have 2 on and 2 out here in the top half of the third inning. And it's Tucker Martz, the top of the order, shortstop, who singled in the first and flew out to right in the second. Pitch is lifted. And that will be foul and out of play. No! No! Monkfold made the play. Super long arms over the fence. Honestly, Kyle Monkfold was probably the only player who could have made that play. Wow! No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 2.5, it is Irene 3, Menno nothing. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third after these messages.
Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provide, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion and Yankton. Batting this inning in the bottom half of the third inning for Menno will be Bryce Sattler, and then the top of the order with Dylan Lair and Nick Ratzloff. Menno trails 3-0 to Irene. Irene got all 3 of those runs in the top of the first, and the first pitch from Dustin Livingston to Bryce Sattler in for a ball, 1-0. Just out of the zone, 2-0. That pitch is grounded over to DeLang. DeLang with the long throw over to first, just in time to De La Torre to get Sattler for the first out of the inning. A 5-3 put out. Now, I'm just going to tell you, if you are listening and you know of an old-time South Central League, and I don't mean old, I mean, it can be old, but even if it's somebody that played 10, 15, 20 years ago, I'd love to interview them. And so put them into the chat or give me a text at 605-661-5858. I would love to interview some past South Central League players and greats. You know, and what's funny is they never consider themselves greats, but the player I want to interview, if I could ever get him to, is Mike Dufek. He was one of my favorites growing up. Oh, that one's just past the shortstop. Dylan Lair will be on, and boy, he is somebody you do not want on base if you're the opposition. So that is a single for Dylan Lair, and that is the second hit of the game for Menno. Lair, one of the fastest players in the South Central League, if not the fastest. That brings up right fielder Nick Ratzloff. Lair faked going to second. He'll head back to first. And first pitch is a ball. Here to Nick Ratzloff. On deck is Connor Merriam. Who's on deck? Well, that's brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Throw over to first. Wow, close. Not in time, though. Lair gets back in. So it's a 1-0 count, 1 on, 1 down here in the bottom half of the third inning with Irene leading 3-0. My Minnesota Twins lost 11-0 earlier today, so, there's that. Lair takes off for second. Here's a throw down, and wow! I mean, Lair is just so fast, but Gall is able to catch that. Might have been a little bit of a high throw there from Jorgensen. But Lair now down at second as the count is now 2-0 on Ratzlaff. That ball is hit into right field. That will drop in. Lair's going to score. He rounds third. He's coming home, and he'll be in safely as that is a single to right field for Nick Ratzlaff. And Menno is on the board now. 3-1, they trail Irene. And that's the third hit of the game for the Mad Frogs. And that brings up catcher Connor Merriam. And Merriam is one of those players, he can get a hold of one. And so you pitch carefully with him as Nick Ratzlaff. Probably not a threat to steal. But Lair comes around to score. First pitch to Merriam is low, 1-0. Macon Opplinger, the pitcher, is on deck. He'd like to get a chance to help his cause here. So runner at first, one down, 1-0 count here in the bottom half of the third inning. One run across for Menno. Ratzlaff does take off. Jorgensen with a throw down to second. Boy, Ratzlaff. Deceptive speed. So now puts a runner at second, kind of eliminates the double play. As that pitch was a strike, so 1 ball, 1 strike. With a runner at second. Ball 2, 2-1. That's in for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Full count. First full count of the game. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Dustin Livingston working from the stretch. That ball is chopped foul. Count remains 3-2. So again, payoff pitch coming up. Livingston, that is laced on the right field line, but that will be foul. And again, we are in Menno, and this is where the district championships, district matches will be starting July 23rd through August 1st. So that Wednesday night, July 23rd, there'll be a game at 7:30, and then 2 games on the 24th, off on Saturday the 25th, back on the 26th, and that pitch will be out of the zone, and Ratzlaff will advance. So runners at first and third now on the walk, and the passed ball, just got to wait, it's not an error at all. So runners at first and third now, 1 down. And that will bring up Macon Opplinger. And they are running for Merriam. So pitcher Macon Opplinger comes up. He's 0 for 1. Runner advances to second. So runners at second and third, 1 down, 0-1 count. That pitch is grounded just past the shortstop and the third baseman. So that'll score 1 with runners now at first and third. And that's the 4th hit of the game. It's now 3-2 in favor of Menno. Brings up Corey Keppen. There's going to be a courtesy runner for Opplinger as well. So Trent Guthmiller running at first. He was a guest on At the Mic earlier this week. Here's a throw over to first, not in time. Again, runners at first and third now. Brings up the third Legion player for this Menno team. Part of the 79ers. And Guthmiller will head down to second. 79ers, they are a kind of this huge co-op between Irene Wakanda, Viborg Hurley, and Gayville Vollen. Oh, 1 pitch is outside, 1-1. So that's a heck of a co-op. Viborg Hurley, Gayville Vollen, and Scotland Menno. The Scotland Menno, oh, sorry, they're the 79ers. I apologize. Scotland Menno, Freeman, Canastota, that's the one. And that one gets away from Jorgensen. Runners are going to advance. So runner at third in Guthmiller. Tying run comes across. As that makes the count 2-1. So yes, the Tri-County Stun Dogs, the Irene players in orange, they are part of that Gayville Vollen, Gayville Vollen, Viborg Hurley, Irene Wakanda co-op. And then the 79ers, that's Scotland Menno, Freeman, Canastota. Now that ball's popped up out of play. Makes it 2-2. All right, so that is a full count to Keppen. 3-2 with a runner at third. 3 runs across this inning for Menno. That pitch is out of the zone, so runners at first and third. So Livingston, after going pretty consistently in those first 2 innings, has struggled a little bit here. Still just the 1 out, and that will bring up first baseman Kyle Munkfold, who made a beautiful play to end the final inning. There's a fence. It's probably about, I'd say it's 6 feet high. And he's the only one tall enough with the long enough arms to go get that, and he did. So good for him. He's made a couple of good plays out there today. And Keppen's going to make it down to second base. As that first pitch to Kyle is a strike. He reached his first time up on a fielder's choice. So now runners at second and third. Pitch is popped up. It's going to stay just... Oh, that's going to drop. And so they're going to try to come home. Here's the throw over to third. And Keppen will be out. He tried to advance once he saw that it dropped. But another run does score. So Guthmiller scores running for Opplinger. Keppen is out heading to third. But Munkfold is aboard with a single. So now runner at first with 2 down, but Menno does have now that 4-3 lead. So that brings up third baseman Braden Sattler. He flew out to left field in the last inning. On deck is A.J. Hairbolt. Pitches a ball, 1-0. And talked with Tom Sattler earlier today, and Menno used to be called the Knights. I think they were black and gold, but they decided to change to the Mad Frogs. Thought they needed an update or something. That was about 10 years ago. And they went wild. It was that green. They kept the yellow from the Menno teams. So, yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike coming up here to Braden Sattler. That ball's chopped on the third baseline. Foul, as Munkfold was in motion. And the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 out here in the bottom half of the third inning, where Menno has now taken a 4-3 lead over Irene. That ball's fouled back. Count remains 1-2. And we do have the Menno livestock right behind us, so you might have heard Galen Guthmiller say, be careful going around the pens or in the pens. Yeah, you have to be. That's the beauty of amateur baseball. Swing and a miss for strike 3. But in the inning, Menno scores 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors with with one runner left on base. After 3, Menno now leads Irene by a score of 4-3. We'll be back with the top half of the 4th. And again, 4-3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. This is South Central League Baseball on 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball, brought to you by our sponsors on 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio. Sponsors include Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance Agency, Elkhorn Valley Bank, and Lakeview Golf Courses. We enter the top half of the 4th inning. Irene looking to now regain the lead. They led from the beginning, but they now trail 4-3 after a 4-run 3rd inning for Menno. That ball is chopped down the third baseline. Fielded cleanly over there, and fielded cleanly at first by Kyle Munkfold. And so Bryant Knodel is down on 1 pitch here in the top half of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Dustin Livingston. Dustin Livingston was on deck. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top half of the 4th. Dustin Livingston, the pitcher, is up. Then Anthony De La Torre is on deck. First pitch is low to Livingston. That's a strike, 1-1. Ball's popped up, Munkfold rolling over, and that will be out of play. That makes the count 1-2 to Dustin Livingston. Dustin now works for Farmers and Merchants State Bank. He lives in Viborg, but works there in Irene. He was an Irene Wakanda Eagle. Irene co-opted with Irene Wakanda after his 7th grade year, he told me. So he steps up, 1-2 count. And that is a ball, 2-2. He played wide receiver for Dakota Wesleyan. Again, that interview is up on At the Mic with Michael Schumacher on YouTube. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Opplinger. That's laced over the third baseman. That'll be a single for Dustin Livingston. And much like I said, Dylan Lair's not a player you want on the base paths. Dustin's not a player you want on the base paths either. He has a pretty good speed out there. That is why even though you can courtesy run for the pitchers, they're not going to because he is too speedy out there. Brings up first baseman Anthony De La Torre. He has struck out and he's been hit by a pitch. So 0 for 1 officially. And here's the first pitch from Opplinger. That's popped up. Will it stay in play? Munkfold gliding over. Oh, Opplinger just overruns it and slides and tries to reach back for it. Good try, but just works out to be a high foul strike. 0-1. So De La Torre talking to Vaith and Miriam behind the plate. So here's the 0-1 pitch coming from Opplinger. As Livingston doesn't get a huge lead. Here's the pitch. That is high. Miriam up in a hurry, ready to throw over to first if needed. 1-1 count. Miriam built like a catcher. I'm just going to say, he looks like your prototypical, like Yogi Berra, essentially. You know, recently celebrated D-Day. Yogi Berra was a gunner during the Normandy invasion. Ooh, and that one hits De La Torre. That is the second time in a row that he's been hit by a pitch. I don't think he's taken it personally, but I mean, I guess you get on no matter how what it takes. So Livingston now down to second. De La Torre to first after being hit by a pitch for the second straight time. And that'll bring up right fielder Garrett Jorgensen, who has singled and grounded back to the pitcher. And manager Tom Sattler coming out to talk to Macon Opplinger. So we'll take a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by Lakeview Golf Course.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
And welcome back to South Central League Baseball on 5-Star streaming on YouTube and Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM. As coming up to bat is Garrett Jorgensen, on deck Preston Gall. 1 down here in the top of the 4th. 2 on, runners on first and second. As Opplinger just hit Anthony De La Torre. Menno playing for the bunt. We'll see if Jorgensen does. As Irene is now down 1 run. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. So it does not look like Jorgensen's going to bunt. But Monkfold and Sattler aren't quite sure, so they're still playing in just a little bit. That pitch is lifted high down the third baseline. Sattler gliding over. And no, that is fielded by the shortstop, Bryce Sattler, so that is the second out of the inning. So now 2 down, 2 on here in the top half of the 4th inning. And that will bring up Preston Gall. On deck is catcher Elliot Jorgensen. So now with 2 on and 2 out here in the top half of the 4th, Irene still trying to get that tying run back. I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Menno concession stand. Part of me is thinking I need to grab a hot dog. I don't know. Here's the pitch from Opplinger. That's in for a strike, 0-1. So Gall steps back in. Preston, the single in the first and a single in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming from Opplinger. Runners at first and second. That is chopped on the third baseline, fielded cleanly there by Sattler, and that will do it. He'll step on third for the third out of the inning. No runs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 3.5, it's Menno 4, Irene 3. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th inning after these messages from Joe's Substation and James Steele.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
James Steel is a general contractor specializing in steel buildings for more than 45 years. James Steel has been building a strong industry, providing pre-engineered Varco-proven buildings across South Dakota, Northwest Iowa, and Northeast Nebraska. From agriculture and commercial projects to fire halls, community centers, aviation, and storage buildings. As a leader in the steel building industry, James Steel of Yankton can offer customers more building at better prices. Call 605-689-7321 for your free estimate and start building with strength, quality, and experience you can trust.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Welcome back to Menno, South Dakota, the Lily Pad. I'm Michael Schumacher, bringing you South Central League Baseball. Here's the first pitch to A.J. Hairbolt. That first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Who's on deck? Well, that's Bryce Sattler, who made the play from short in the foul territory. Bryce Sattler's Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Count is 1-1. And then that'll take you to the top of the order with Dylan Blair. Ball 2-1. That ball's laced into left center field. And Knodel is out there to make the catch. Nice hit by Herbolt. Just didn't hang up there quite long enough. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Menno leading Irene by a score of 4-3. So Bryce Sattler is up. He grounded out for a 5-3 putout back in the third inning. Leading off the third inning, actually. That's in for a strike, 0-1. Ball's fouled off, 0-2. So again, just a reminder, if you're interested, that's in for a ball. Pickstown will be having Uncovering Historic Pickstown on Saturday. That'll be running all day, starting about 9 o'clock at the museum with tours of the old Fort Randall site, the chapel, Fort Randall Dam Visitor Center, tours of the powerhouse. That ball is grounded over to third. DeLang, boy, fumbles it right away, and that will allow Sattler to get to first. We'll call that a single. Some people say I'm too generous, but I think that's a single. So that brings up Dylan Lair. On deck, Nick Ratzlaff. But again, Pickstown, that is a free will offering. There'll be presenters all day long. Now, I was originally planning on attending, but I will be in Rapid City. I've been invited to take part in their Juneteenth presentation and production, so there'll be some Readers Theater, and I'll be doing some singing, and some of the guests I've had in Yankton at the AME have invited me out. So, all right, here's the first pitch to Lair. That is a ball, 1-0. So, I'll be part of the Black Hills Community Theater production. 1 ball, no strikes to Dylan Lair. Runner on first, 1 down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. That's laced into left center field by Lair. That's going to reach the fence. Sattler rounds second. He rounds third. He's coming home. There will not be a play at the plate. Dylan Lair in with a stand-up double RBI. Double brings home Sattler. That's the 7th hit of the game for the Mad Frogs, making it 5-3 now in favor of Menno with still just 1 down. So that was a nice piece of hitting there by Lair. And again, makes the score 5-3 in favor of the Mad Frogs. And again, Lair if not the fastest, one of the 2 or 3 fastest in this South Central League. And that brings up Nick Ratzloff, left-handed batter. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Livingston. Popped up. That'll be out of play, though. 0-1. That's in for a strike. 0-2 quickly on Ratzloff with Connor Miriam on deck. So 5-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. That pitch is grounded down the first baseline, fielded there by De La Torre. Lair does move over, so that will be considered a sacrifice for Ratzloff, but now 2 down with a runner at third. So Ratzloff with the sacrifice. Lair moves over to third. Brings up catcher Connor Miriam. Miriam's walked twice. On deck, pitcher Macon Opplinger. And they're going to walk Miriam intentionally. So runners now at first and third, and that brings up pitcher Macon Opplinger. Opplinger singled back in, well, last inning. So here's a meeting at the mound. Not a long meeting though, so we're not going to take a break for that. So Macon Opplinger up, 2 down, runners at first and third. So Opplinger looking to help his own case as the starting pitcher here. Eric Beekler now down at second. And his mom's to my right here. It's Eric Beekler at second. So runners at second and third as Beekler is courtesy running for Miriam. That ball is fouled off. 1-1 is the count. Pitch is low, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. Here in the bottom half of the 4th. 1 run across for Menno this inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2. Deuce is wild, as they like to say. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Nobody ever says ace is wild, though, when it's 1-1, 1-1. They like saying deuces, though. I'm not quite sure. But here, either way, here's the 2-2 pitch from Livingston. That's in the dirt, and it does get away from Jorgensen, and Lair will come across to score on the wild pitch. So that makes it 6-3 in favor of Menno, as Beekler is now at third. Lair comes across to score. And that's 6-3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. That pitch is high. So that puts runners at first and third now. With 2 down, that brings up Corey Keppen. Corey was a guest on my show earlier again today, and that will be up on the YouTube channel at the mic with Michael Schumacher. So Keppen has reached via a walk in the third and a single in the second. There's a throw down to second, and a run's going to score on the throw down. So Beekler comes across, runner now safe at second. And Keppen now ahead in the count, 1-0. Pitch is fouled back, 1-1. Swing and miss. That's strike 3. Oh, that is strike 3. So they counted that first pitch as a strike. I did not realize that. I apologize. So that is 3 down. So in the inning, they do score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, with 1 runner left on base. At the end of 4, it's Menno 7, Irene 3. We'll be back with the top half of the 5th after these messages from Corner Nugget and Menno State Bank.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on 5-star streaming on YouTube and Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM. I'm Michael Schumacher from Menno, South Dakota, the Lily Pad, a home of the Mad Frogs, where as we enter the 5th inning, Menno leads Irene by a score of 7-3. Batting this inning will be Elliot Jorgensen, Noah Hansen, and Jake DeLang. Who's on deck? Well, that's Noah Hansen, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. First pitch to Elliot Jorgensen is a strike, 0-1. That ball's chopped over to third, and they cannot field it cleanly. Jorgensen will be safe at first. So they're going to call that an error. So they're ruling that an error, so E5. So runner at first, nobody out. Courtesy runner for Irene. Brings up left fielder Noah Hansen. Noah flew out to right field in the first inning and doubled back in the third, and it was a ground rule double. Pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Man, I'm trying to be good, but people keep walking by with hot dogs. Oof. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is inside, 1-1. Oh, and that's a little high behind, actually. Noah Hansen, 2-1 is the count. Noah, again, will be playing for Mount Marty in the fall. If you notice his orange jersey, he is a Tri-County Sundog this summer as well for the Legion. That pitch is in the dirt. He's worked at a 3-1 count. So with a runner on first, nobody out. Menno has a 4-run lead, but, man, that can go away in a hurry. Opplinger wants to switch baseballs. So 3-1 is the count. That pitch is out of the zone. Now runners at first and second after that walk to Hansen. So Hansen will be at first after the walk. We do have a courtesy runner at second. Brings up third baseman Jake DeLange, who's walked and struck out. So he is 0 for 1 with one official plate appearance. DeLange is left-handed batter. On deck is the top of the order and shortstop Tucker Martz. That pitch is out of the zone, and that gets past Merriam. Runners will advance. So now runners at second and third with nobody out. Count is 1-0. There's going to be a meeting at the mound, so we'll take a quick timeout as well. And this timeout will be brought to you by Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Thank you. Nope, I think we're good, but thank you. Well, it seems like I'm back, but I was down for a while. That is so weird. I apologize. Yeah, production truck, our system just shut down, but it looks like I'm back on, I hope. We'll see. Cripes. I apologize. Yeah, it's got everything still there, so. See if I can get this back up. I apologize. We did have a Mama J's Cafe and Bar pitching change. Pitching change is brought to you by Mama J's Cafe and Bar. As Jake DeLange I lost my pen. Holy crud. There we go. All right. So, Bryce Sattler is now pitching. Jake DeLange is walked. As looks like Macon Opplinger might have been injured. So now bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top half of the fifth inning. So I do apologize if hopefully looks like everything's still up. So first pitch to Tucker Martz is in for a strike, 0-1. So again, A.J. Hairbolt is out. Trent Guthmiller in for Hairbolt. Macon Opplinger move to first. There's a wild pitch, and that's, they're going to be safe at home on the wild pitch. So now runners at second and third, and it's now 7-4. That'll make it 1-1 to Tucker Martz. Like I said, I'm still just getting my bearings here. I apologize. When that shut down, I had to kind of restart everything. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 run across. That pitch hits Martz. So Martz is hit by a pitch. So Martz at first, with DeLang at second, Hansen at third. And that 1 run across, that brings up center fielder Bryant Knodel. But Macon Opplinger, like I said, moved to first. Kyle Munkvolt went out to left field. And Trent Guthmiller is at second. And Corey Keppen moved over to short. So here's the first pitch to Bryant Knodel. And that's a swing and a miss. And that Sattler needed that. So 0-1 is the count. Bases loaded. 7-4. That's a ball. Evens count at 1-1. So 1-1 pitch from Sattler. Swing and a miss by Knodel makes it 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bases loaded here in the top half of the 5th inning. So again, we did have a Mama J's Cafe and Bar pitching change, as it is now Sattler pitching. That pitch is in for called, strike 3. So Bryant Knodel goes down, and that will be the first out of the inning, and Sattler needed that one. Get a little confidence in there. Brings up Dustin Livingston. Livingston has a walk and 2 singles, so 2 for 2 with 1 run scored tonight. That pitch is high, 1-0. On deck is Anthony De La Torre. So here's the 1-0 pitch. Miriam gets in front of that one, makes it 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes to Dustin Livingston. That ball's hit between first and second. That'll go into right field. 1 run will score. And there will not be a play at the plate. DeLang will make it around to score as well. And Dustin Livingston will head down to second. So now runners at second and third, as the score is now 7-6. As time is called, Jason Vaith dusts off home plate here. So a single for Livingston gets him on base. He moves to second on the throw home. Tucker Martz is at third, as Noah Hansen and Jake DeLang both score. That brings up Anthony De La Torre, who's been hit by a pitch twice and struck out. And so that is ball 1, 1-0. Swing and a miss. So runners at second and third, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Irene has plated 3 runs. That's a swing and a miss, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. That pitch is out of the zone. Evens the count at 2-2. Sattler winds and delivers. Popped up, and that's down the first base line. Opplinger out there makes the play for the second out of the inning. And they're able to advance. They tag, and runner at home. Tucker Martz makes it home, ties it up at 7. So technically ends up being a sacrifice for De La Torre. And that brings up Garrett Jorgensen. So they are going to appeal to third. So they still call it a run across, the tie game now. So they're going to say that he did not tag, so that run does not come across. Makes it 7-6, and that will be the end of the inning. So, in the inning, they get 3 runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 runner left on base. At the end of 4.5, it's Menno 7, Irene 6, and Dustin Livingston out there talking to the officials, to the umpires. He disagrees, but we are head to the bottom of the 5th now with Menno leading on the Grassline Heating and Cooling scoreboard by a score of 7-6.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Menno Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Menno Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty.
Here's our first pitch, and we did have a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change. Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene pitching change. It's now Tucker Martz. Tucker Martz comes in from short. Noah Hansen moves from left to short. Bryant Canoto moves from center field to left field. And Dustin Livingston moves from pitcher to center field. Martz works quickly behind 2-1. Again, it'll be Kyle Monkfold with Braden Sattler on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. As that hit is into right center field, and that will reach the fence. Monkfold doesn't break stride, and he's loping. He's going to go for 3, and here's going to be a play at third, and he will be in safely with a triple for Kyle Monkfold. Monkfold having himself a heck of a night. Reached on a fielder's choice, singled in the third, and now tripled in the 5th. So that's the 8th hit of the game for Menno. Puts a runner at third with nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So that brings up Braden Sattler. On deck is Trent Guthmiller. That's in for a strike, 1-1. Pitch is fouled straight back, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Martz. It's lifted high, but out of play. Count remains 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That gets past Jorgensen, but here's going to be a play at home. And, oh, boy, Monkfold just dives in under the tag. And so on the now 2-2 count, it makes it 8-6 in favor of the Mad Frogs. As Monkfold scores on the wild pitch, makes it a 2-2 count. That ball is hit into left field. Knodel can't get to that one. That'll reach the fence, and that's going to be a double for Braden Sattler. Braden Sattler now at second, and that'll be 9 hits on the night for Menno. There's going to be a little meeting at the mound. Jorgensen out there. So we'll take a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by Mama J's Cafe.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is proud to serve the northeast Nebraska and surrounding tri-state area of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. When you need feed for your livestock, they haul dry or liquid right to your farm. When you need fertilizer, they also haul dry urea.
Meeting on the mound is done. Martz delivers to Trent Guthmiller. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss from Trent makes it 1-1. Pitch is in for strike, 1-2. That pitch gets past Jorgensen. And Sattler's going to make it down to third. This count's now 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out with a runner on third. That's popped up. Jorgensen trying to make it, and just about hit a gentleman. Just missed him, but hopefully they yelled at him in time that he was able to dodge it. That makes it 2, keeps the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Sattler at third, and that will be strike 3, swing and a miss. So that is the first out of the inning, first out for Tucker Martz. Brings up pitcher Bryce Sattler. Sattler with a ground out to third in the third and a single back in last inning in the fourth. That pitch is lifted high. Anthony De La Torre comes in at first. Oh, cannot make the catch. And Sattler's going to make it to second on the error. So now runners at second and third. And a final in Yankton. Yankton defeats Freeman by a score of 17-1. So with Sattler now at second, brings up the top of the order and Dylan Lair. Lair doubled in the fourth and singled in the third and flew out in the first. 1 down, 2 on. That pitch is a ball, 1-0. That pitch is high, 2-0. That is in for called strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Irene leading 8-6. That's in for called strike 2. Evens the count at 2-2 for Martz. As Lair's looking to get a run in or get on base. Nick Ratzloff is on deck. That pitch is lifted. It's going to be foul, but DeLange moves over, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So now with 2 on and 2 down, that brings up right fielder Nick Ratzloff. On deck is catcher Connor Miriam. So Ratzloff 1 for 2. Struck out looking in the first, singled in the third, and sacrificed last inning. Pitch is inside, 1-0. Pitch is hit, just over the glove of De La Torre. That will score 1 run. That will score 2. So that now makes it 10-6 in favor of Menno. On that single by Ratzloff. So with 2 down and a runner on first, that brings up Connor Miriam. Miriam has walked 3 times, and there's going to be a meeting at the mound, so we'll take a quick timeout brought to you by Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball as we are still in the bottom half of the 5th inning from Menno, where the Menno Mad Frogs lead the Irene Cardinals by a score of 10-6. Batting now, it's Connor Miriam, who has walked 3 times. We have a runner at first in the form of Nick Ratzloff, and 2 down. Count is 1-0 now. Macon Opplinger is on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So counts 2-0. Tucker Martz in his first inning of relief. Ball is chopped deep into left field, and that will be a home run for Connor Miriam, and that is why you walk him previously, because he has that kind of power. Now it's 12 to 6 in favor of Menno. That is their 10th hit of the game. And now with still 2 down, that brings up Macon Opplinger with the bases empty. Oh, I forgot to even hit the little home run button. There we go. There we go. So 12 to 6. And that brings up again Macon Opplinger is now playing first base. On deck he is shortstop Corey Keppen to face Tucker Martz. That ball is lifted deep into left field, and that will fall in for a single for Opplinger. It's now a runner at first, 12-6 lead for Menno here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Next man up is the shortstop, Corey Keppen. Keppen, the hitter.
So Corey Keppen is up. He's singled, walked, and struck out. Count is 0-1. Ball's hit right back to Martz. Martz over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, there are 5 runs. 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 runner left on, no error, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5, it is Menno 12. Yeah, Menno 12, Irene 6. We'll be back with the top half of the 6th inning after these messages from our sponsors.
Living in the Midwest, driving miles to work, our vehicle needs to be in the best running condition possible. And when you have problems like brakes or belts or alignment, you take it to Pecos Repair in Tabor. Justin and his ASE certified techs will take care of your vehicle, fix it right, and you'll be back on the road in no time. And you may as well get the air conditioning checked now, too. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Pecos Repair, 605-463-2354. To schedule an appointment, give them a call. Pecos Repair.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off-sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from Menno, South Dakota. We have Garrett Jorgensen up for Irene, followed by Preston Gall and Elliot Jorgensen. Who's on deck is Preston Gall, brought to you by Chris Haygrinding in Tyndall. The first pitch from Bryce Sattler is a ball, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. So again, we will be back on the air with South Central League Baseball a week from today for the kickoff to the Check Days celebration from Tabor, Lesterville at Tabor. That's always so well attended. That ball's laced down the left field line, fair, and that will be a single for Garrett Jorgensen. So runner at first as Irene looks to try to get back into this. And that will bring up Preston Gall. Gall has singled twice and grounded out to third.
Number 16, Preston Gall. Gall, the hitter.
So Gall steps up with Elliot Jorgensen on deck. That pitch is a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, one on, nobody out here in the top half of the sixth. That pitch is inside, 2-0. That pitch is in for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Preston Gall at bat as Irene looks to try to get back into it. And that's going to be laced out into right field, but that will be caught out there for the first out of the inning. So Gall flies out to right. So Garrett Jorgensen stays at first. That will bring up catcher Elliot Jorgensen. On deck is shortstop Noah Hansen. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. That's low, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strike. Strikes runner at first in the form of Garrett Jorgensen. Swing and a miss from Elliot Jorgensen. Makes it 2-1. 12-6 lead for Menno. So they have put it on the last 3 innings. 4 runs, 3 runs, and 5. That pitch is hit, popped up, and Trent Guthmiller with the fielding there. Making it a little bit interesting, but now 2 down. And that will bring up Noah Hansen. Hansen has flown out to right, doubled, and walked. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored. That ball is grounded over to short, and they'll throw it over to second for a 6-4 putout. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5.5, it's Menno 12. Irene 6. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 6th inning after these messages. And that is, of course, 12-6 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Okay.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Welcome back to 5-Star Streaming and Fox Sports Radio. We do have a pitching change, a Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene pitching change. And that will be, let's see here. It is Justin Hall now pitching. He'll be facing Kyle Munkvold. There were some defensive changes, but I believe Tucker Martz has moved back to short. Noah Hansen, I think, is now at third, so I think that might just be the extent of it. As the first pitch is in for a strike 0-1, Hall. His fiancée was in the stands earlier next to me. That's in for a strike. And she said she thought he was going to be pitching, so. And I said, well, we'll see about that. No, I didn't say that at all because that'd be rude. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2. So it'll be Kyle Munkvold, Braden Sattler on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And then Trent Guthmiller. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Munkvold. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the 6th inning as Irene tries to stay in it. That's in for a strike on Sattler. 0-1. Hall pitching well. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1. That's lifted into shallow center field. Preston Gall glides over and gets underneath that for 2 down, 2 up, 2 down so far for Hall. That's popped out to the second baseman. With Menno leading Irene by a score of 12-6. So Trent Guthmiller up to bat. 1 ball, no strikes. To Trent Guthmiller with Bryce Sattler on deck. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Again, Justin Hall in his first inning of relief. 2 up and 2 down so far. 1-1 pitch. That's out of the zone. 2-1. Good crowd tonight. I'd say about 100 people here. You start looking at everybody in the outfield and all of that. Nice crowd. That ball is chopped down the third baseline, but that is foul. 2-2. So again, a reminder, Uncovering Historic Pickstown in Pickstown, South Dakota. That is Saturday, starting about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at the Rainbow Room in the Pickstown Museum. 11,000 square feet of displays for the Pickstown Museum, run completely via volunteers. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch. That's laced down the left field line, and that is fair. That's going to be extra bases for Guthmiller. He rounds first. He is heading into second, and he's going to be in with a stand-up double for Trent Guthmiller. Proud to say Trent was on my show earlier this week. Glad I got a chance to talk with him. I think I was the good luck charm. That's a double for Trent. Brings up pitcher Bryce Sattler. That pitch is inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch with 2 down and a runner on second. Hall working from the stretch. That ball's chopped down the third baseline. Hansen can't quite field it cleanly, but it does not get to the outfield, so that will be a hit. Infield single for Bryce Sattler. Puts runners at first and second. And that brings up center fielder Dylan Lair. On deck is Nick Ratzloff. Lair's had a single and a double, and then a fly out to left, and a pop out, or a fly out to center, and a pop out to third. That's in for a strike, 0-1. It's a ball, evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, with Menno leading Irene by a score of 12-6. That is on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Justin Hall, working from the stretch, delivers just outside of the zone, makes it 2-1. We're now 2 hours and 10 minutes into this game. Oh, that stayed inside. Ball 3, 3-1. Now, in for strike 2, full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom half of the 6th as Justin Hall is looking to get out of this inning unscathed and keep it a 12-6 ball game. Pitch is high. That loads the bases. So now runners at every base. Brings up Nick Ratzloff. Ratzloff is 2 for 3. Ratzlaff with that neon yellow bat. Bases loaded. 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And that ball is lifted high. Foul. Will it stay in play? And Hansen could not quite adjust. That bounded back on him. And that will just be a high strike, 0-1. So Hall had moved into a backup position. He's now back on the mound. Hall's pitch grounded over to second. Fielded by Gull, but not cleanly. And on the error, 1 run will come in. 2 runs come in. That ball is into right field, and so runners will be at first and second as 2 runs score on the error. It's now 14-6. And that'll be, according to the official score, the 4th error of the game for Irene. Just feels like Justin Hall's been the victim of a little bit of bad luck out there. So it's now 14-6 with runners at first and second. As Gall, normally sure-handed, couldn't quite contain that one. Brings up Connor Merriam. Merriam with a home run his last time up. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Ball's popped up. De La Torre comes over, and he can't quite make the catch, and that's been the victim. Irene's been a victim of just an inch or two here and there all night long, and so it's now 0-2, though. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th. But I do believe, if I remember right, 2 more runs and this game would be over. That'd be that 10-run rule after 5 innings. Maybe it's 7. I apologize. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 15 after 5, 10 after 6 or 7. Because we are just in the bottom half of the 6th. I might have been getting ahead of myself there. Hall, that is low, 1-2. So here's the 1-2 pitch from Hall. Swing and a miss by Merriam, and that'll be a strikeout, and that will end the inning. But in the inning, Irene does score 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left on base. At the end of 6, it's Menno 14, Irene 6. We'll be back with the top of the 7th after these messages. Again, 14-6 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
James Steel is a general contractor specializing in steel buildings for more than 45 years. James Steel has been building a strong industry, providing pre-engineered Varco-prudent buildings across South Dakota, Northwest Iowa, and Northeast Nebraska. From agriculture and commercial projects to fire halls, community centers, aviation, and storage buildings. As a leader in the steel building industry, James Steel of Yankton can offer customers more building at better prices. Call 605-689-7321 for your free estimate and start building with strength, quality, and experience you can trust.
Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Welcome back to the Lily Pad in Menno, South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming as we enter the top of the 7th with Menno leading Irene 14-6. As Justin Hall will bat now. First pitch is ball 1, 1-0. Next pitch from Sattler, in for a strike, 1-1. So it'll be Hall, and then the top of the order with Tucker Martz and Bryant Knodel. 1-1 pitch, out of the zone, 2-1. So you're wondering who's on deck? Well, it's Tucker Martz. Tucker Martz is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. 2-1 pitch, inside, 3-1. Hall would love to get on base here. That pitch is high. That'll be a walk. So Justin Hall is on board. There will be a runner. Courtesy runner for the pitcher, Justin Hall. And the Tabor Bluebirds defeated Wynot by a score of 10-4 tonight. So Sam Hansen is running for Justin Hall. Batting is Tucker Martz. And that first pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. One-0 pitch, that's in for strike one, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out here in the top half of the 7th inning. That's in for strike 2, 1-2. Now 1-2 pitch, that stays high, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top half of the 7th. Sattler in his 3rd inning of relief. That pitch is laced into left field, and that will be a single for Tucker Martz. Runners now at first and second. No, it's misplayed out there by Monkvold. And Hansen's going to round third, and so that's going to be a run scored for Irene, making it 14-7 on the single by Tucker Martz, and then reaching second on the error. So 14-7 now. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Brings up Bryant Knodel, the now left fielder. On deck is center fielder Dustin Livingston. Pitches a ball, 1-0. Pitch is in the dirt, 2-0. Pitch is laced right up the middle, and that goes into center field. And so On the error, runners will be at first and third. Still nobody down here in the top of the 7th. So runners at first and third. That brings up center fielder Dustin Livingston. First pitch to Livingston in for a strike. Dustin has walked, singled 3 times. Singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and singled in the 5th. First pitch is a strike from Sattler. Second pitch is laced down the third baseline. Third baseman fields it, but the throw bounces into Merriam. And so another run scores. Livingston is aboard on the fielder's choice. Runners at first and second. So still nobody down. Now Knodel at second, Livingston at first on the fielder's choice, and Anthony De La Torre up to bat. Tony De La Torre struck out in the 1st, sacrificed in the 5th, and was hit by a pitch in both the 2nd and 4th innings. Almost got hit a 3rd time there, but he ducked out of the way. 1-0. So 14-8 now in favor of Menno, and that ball is hit foul. 1-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball 3. 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Tony De La Torre. 2 on runners on first and second. Nobody out. 2 runs across for Irene, as it's now 14-8 on the Grassline Heating and Cooling scoreboard. And that pitch will load the bases. So De La Torre moves down to first. Bases loaded, nobody out. And that brings up Garrett Jorgensen, the right fielder. So there's going to be a conference at the mound, so we'll take a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by Mama J's Cafe.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
All right, meeting on the mound is done. We're back as Garrett Jorgensen steps up. Sattler's still in there. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. That one gets past Merriam. Runner's going to try to advance, and that will do it. Runners all advance, so it's now 14-9. Runners at second and third, count as 1-0 to Garrett Jorgensen. As Knodel comes across, Livingston now at third. Tony De La Torre at second. So it's now 14-9. It's Garrett Jorgensen now ahead in the count 1-0. Now 2-0 to Sattler. Facing Sattler. That's outside 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes, nobody out with 2 on, runners on second and third as Garrett Jorgensen steps in. That pitch is inside for ball 4. Bases are now loaded again. Brings up Preston Gall. That's ball 2, 2-0. That's in for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bases loaded here in the top half of the 7th. 14-9. Menno leads Irene, but Irene looking to make a comeback. 3 runs across this inning. That pitch is high. Runners will not advance. Oh, they might get a run. No. Here's a throw down to first. As Jorgensen is called out at first. So that is the first out of the inning. Full count. So ball is hit into shallow right field. That will be caught, but there might be a play at the plate. And that's going to be a double play as Livingston tries to score. So that is a double play to end the inning, and like that, the inning is over. 3 runs, though. 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors with 1 runner left on base at the end of 6.5. It's Menno 14, Irene 9. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 7th after these messages. Again, 14-9 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC. Proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on 5-Star streaming on YouTube and Fox Sports Radio as we enter the bottom half of the 7th. It's now a 5-run game with Menno leading Irene 14-9. Leading off this inning for Menno will be Macon Opplinger. He'll be followed by Corey Keppen and Kyle Monkfold. Who's on deck? Well, it's Corey Keppen. That's brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. First pitch of the inning for Hall is just outside, 1-0. Justin Hall entering his second inning of relief. Swing and a miss. Strike one, 1-1. Pitch is in for a strike, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Macon Opplinger leading off this inning. Ball 2, 2-2. Ooh, just out of the zone. Full count, 3-2. Full count. That is grounded over to short. Martz fields it on a weird hop. Throw over to first, just in time to get Opplinger for the first out of the inning. Brings up Corey Keppen. First pitch to Keppen is a ball, 1-0. Justin Hall winds and delivers. Pitch is lifted into center field. Livingston going back, off the fence, and that will be a double for Keppen. So nice hit by Keppen into deep center field. That's the third hit of the game. That's Keppen's second hit, his first one since the second inning. And that will bring up Kyle Monkfold, the left fielder. Kyle 1 for 3 with a single and a walk tonight. On deck is Braden Sattler. Pitch is popped up down the first base line. Fielded cleanly there. Did not get the pitching change or the position change. So that brings up Braden Sattler now with 2 down and a runner on second. Ball's fouled off, 0-1. Yeah, see, and Game Changer still has Anthony De La Torre out there at first, but it's not. That's in for strike 2, 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch coming. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that is struck out as Caden Ganshaw is now at first base. That's who made the play out there, and there's a strikeout for the third out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base. And at the end of 7, it's 14-9 in favor of Menno with Irene coming to bat. And we'll be back as that, again, 14-9 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. It'll be Preston Gall, Elliot Jorgensen, and Noah Hansen.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
Everyone wants a bank that cares about them to be more than just an account with a balance. Cedar Security Bank is committed to getting to know their customers and answering all their financial questions with honest answers about their money and investments. Cedar Security Bank has locations in Fordyce, Hardington, and Wynot with convenient 24-hour ATMs in all 3 locations. Stop in and visit Cedar Security Bank when you have questions about your accounts. Cedar Security Bank, member FDIC.
All right, a 3-1 count to Noah Hansen. 1 down. It's now a full count here in the top half of the 8th inning as and that is a walk as Irene is trying to get back into it with a runner on first now. 1 down, and that will bring up Justin Hall.
Next man up, number 11, Justin Hall. Hall the batter.
Throw over to first, gets away from Opplinger, and Hansen will make it down to second. He's rounding it. He's going to third. There'll be a play at third, and he's going to be in safely. That is going to put Hansen at third. So Hall steps in with a runner in scoring position just 90 feet away. One and 0. 2 balls, no strikes now to Justin Hall. As Irene trails 14-9 here in Menno. Ball's low and outside, 3-0. So here's the 3-0 pitch. That's in the zone and gets away from the catcher, and Hansen will come in to score as the ball does get past the catcher on the wild pitch. Now 14-10. As they want to go out and talk to Sattler. So we'll take a quick timeout as it's 14-10 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back after these messages from the Keg and TLC Propane.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
We are in a pitching change here at 5 Star Streaming. So Braden Sattler coming in to pitch on this Mama J's Cafe and Bar in Irene pitching change. So Braden Sattler in to pitch now for Menno. We'll take another quick timeout. We'll be back right after this.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Housing lender.
All right, so batting for Irene, it's Tucker Martz here with 1 down and a runner at first. On deck is Bryant Knodel. Who's on deck? Well, Bryant Knodel, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Boy, that one went behind Tucker. It did not strike him, though, so 1-0 is the count. As it's 14-10 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard here in the top of the 8th. That pitch is laced on the right field line, but that is curving foul. Evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Appreciate you tuning in. Ball's popped up down the right field line. Opplinger moving over. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. So Irene would love to get a couple more runs across. And that brings up Bryant Knodel. So Knodel walked in the first, flew out in the second, grounded out in the fourth, struck out in the fifth, and reached in the other inning. And that's going to be a hit out to the outfield. And the courtesy runner will make it over to third. I never did get an Irene lineup, so that's part of the issue. So Knodel on with the single. And the courtesy runner for Hall at third. So runners at first and third. And that brings up Dustin Livingston. Livingston with 3 singles, a walk, and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch is laced into deep right field. That's going back, and that's going to be misplayed out there. And so 1 run will score. And Knodel is in at third. So now runners at first and third, 14-11. It's the 12th hit of the game for Irene. So 14-11 now. That brings up Caden Ganshaw. He's a Tri-County Sundog. Stepping in, left-handed batter to face Braden Sattler. With 2 down and 2 on here in the bottom or top half of the 8th inning. 2 runs have come across for Irene. First pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. So the tying run is at first. The go-ahead run is at the plate. The tying run is at the plate, and that is hit over to second, and they do field it in time to get Livingston at second. So, in the inning, 2 runs. Two runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 7.5, it's Menno 14, Irene 11. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 8th after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Menno Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Menno Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary Beer Garden in Menno.
Welcome back to the Lily Pad in Menno on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube as we head into the bottom of the 8th with Menno leading Irene 14-11. Batting this inning will be Trent Guthmiller, Bryce Sattler, and then the top of the order was Dylan Lair. First pitch from Justin Hall is in for a strike. Ball's lifted foul, 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 pitches, 1 strikeout, 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Brings up Bryce Sattler. So 0-1 to Sattler. Now 1-1. Here's the pitch from Hall. Just out of the zone. 2-1. All right, so 3 balls, 1 strike to Bryce Sattler. Here's the pitch from Hall. Swing and a foul off. Makes it a full count, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming up. That's in for called strike for a strike 3. And that's 2 down here in the bottom half of the 8th with 14-11 lead for Menno. They'd love to add to it, but that brings up Dylan Lair in the top of the order. Dylan Lair was who was on deck here in the bottom half of the 8th, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So Lair has walked, doubled, singled, flown out, and flown out. That pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. Ball's grounded down the third baseline, and that is fair. Lair rounds first. He's heading to second. He'll be in with a double. It's a stand-up double for Dylan Lair. 14th hit of the game. And brings up Nick Ratzlaff. Nick Ratzlaff reached on an error, singled in the fifth, sacrificed, singled in the third, and struck out in the first. On deck is catcher Connor Merriam. Fouled off. 0-1.
Youngsters after it, thank you very much.
Ball is out of the zone, 1-1.
For you Mad Frog fans, baseball here Sunday night, Lesterville, Bronx, 6 p.m. sharp.
Gets away a little bit from Jorgensen. Lair cannot advance. This count is 3-1. 2-1, sorry. There's a throw down to third, and Lair will be in. A little closer than I was expecting. I don't know that he was expecting a throw. The count is 3-1 as we now have a meeting on the mound between Jorgensen and Hall. So 3 balls, 1 strike here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 2 down, 1 on, and there's a swing and a miss for a full count. Again, 14-11 is the score here in the bottom half of the 8th. Ratzlaff, full count, payoff pitch from Hall. That's lifted into shallow left field. Knodel makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We head to the 9th. Irene needs 3 to keep the game going, as it's 14-11 on the Grasslands Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is proud to serve the northeast Nebraska and surrounding tri-state area of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. When you need feed for your livestock, they haul dry or liquid right to your farm. When you need fertilizer, they also haul dry or liquid. Why not give Jones Feed and Grain Trucking a call to save you time and money with your feed or fertilizer needs? That's Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska, serving the tri-state area.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Living in the Midwest, driving miles to work, our vehicle needs to be in the best running condition possible. And when you have problems like brakes or belts or alignment, you take it to Pecos Repair in Tabor. Justin and his ASE certified techs will take care of your vehicle, fix it right, and you'll be back on the road in no time. And you may as well get the air conditioning checked now, too. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Pecos Repair, 605-463-2354. To schedule an appointment, give them a call. Pecos Repair.
Welcome back as we head into the ninth inning. Irene needs 3 runs to keep the game going, trailing 14-11 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Leading off for Irene, it's Garrett Jorgensen with Preston Gall on deck. And Elliot Jorgensen to follow. So Garrett Jorgensen with Preston Gall on deck. Who's on deck? Well, it's Preston Gall, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. 2-0 is the count. That pitch is lifted into shallow left field, and that's going to be caught out there by Bryce Sattler. Beautiful play by the shortstop on Garrett Jorgensen's fly ball. So, Irene down to 2 outs now as Preston Gall steps in. On deck is catcher Elliot Jorgensen. So Preston Gall singled in the first, singled in the third, grounded out in the fourth, flew out in the 6th, and struck out in the 8th. That is inside 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3, out of the zone, 3-0. Again, Irene needs 3 runs. They scored 2 in the last inning, 3 runs in the inning before that. 3 times tonight they have scored 3 runs in an inning. That pitch is in for a strike, 3-1. As Gall steps back in. Ball's fouled off, full count, 3-2. And it does look like we're going to have a hitter for Jorgensen, a pinch hitter for Jorgensen. Ooh, in for called strike 3. Gall does not agree, but rarely does an umpire ever change their mind because the batter disagrees. So, brings up a pinch hitter. So Jacob Kreibel steps in. So Kreibel, I believe, was the designated hitter on Sunday night. He'd like to get a hit right here. Pitch coming up from Braden Sattler. That is low, 1-0. So Irene down to their final 3 strikes, 1 out, whatever you want to say. Down by 3 runs. That pitch is hit and over the outstretched glove of Bryce Sattler. So Kreibel comes in, gets a hit. And Irene is still in business with Kreibel at first. That brings up Noah Hansen. So Sam Hansen steps in to pinch run. Well, not a courtesy runner, pinch runner. He will actually be in the game. As Noah Hansen steps up. First pitch to Hansen is a ball, 1-0. And if Hansen can get a hit or get a board, then it becomes Justin Hall. So Justin Hall The tying run is on deck. Who's on deck? Justin Hall, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. 2-0 is the count. That pitch in for a strike, 2-1. Ball's chopped over to third. No, fielded it short. Here's a long throw to first, not in time. So now, infield single puts runners at first and second, and the tying run comes to bat in the form of Justin Hall. So Hall walked his last time up, and if he's able to get aboard, that would bring up Tucker Martz and the top of the order. Sattler's first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 pitch from Sattler coming up. Working from the stretch. That is outside, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, 2 on here in the top half of the 9th inning. Irene needs 3 runs to keep the game going. That's inside, 2-1. So Hall came in relief a couple of innings ago. Ooh, called strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-1. Irene down to their final strike as they trail by 3 here in the top of the 9th inning. Sattler looks back, comes home. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Does get away from the catcher. 2 runners advance. Not that they matter that much. The tying run is at the plate, but it's a full count. And Tucker Martz is on deck. Martz with 2 hits already on the night. Would love to get a chance at the third. So payoff pitch coming up from Sattler. Ooh, and that is a ball. Walks the bases loaded, so the tying run is now at first. And that brings up Tucker Martz. Martz singled in the first, flew out in the second, flew out in the third, hit by a pitch in the 5th, singled in the 7th, and popped out in the 3rd. First pitch to Martz is a strike, 0-1. This has been a heck of a ball game tonight, back and forth. Ball's chopped foul, 0-2. Again, Irene down to their final strike. So no balls, 2 strikes to Tucker Martz. 2 down, bases loaded. Braden Sattler looks in, comes set, comes home, and that's high. 1-2. It was high enough that it almost got past the catcher. But right now there's a force at every base. They only need 1 out to get out of this inning and get out of this game. Martz awaits as Sattler comes set, comes home. That's in the dirt as well, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out with 3 on. Martz steps back into the box. Takes a practice wiggle. There we go. Sattler looks in, comes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Here's Sattler's pitch. Ooh, that is high. It's now a full count. And there's a throw over to first. Not in. Oh! Oh, he thought the pitch was high. Got caught off of first, and that's the way it ends. So it is a 14-11 victory for the Menno Mad Frogs. Well, and I tell you what, we're going to kind of wrap things up here. So Irene falls to 0-7. Menno's now I apologize. Menno is now 3-3 on the season. So a good win for the Mad Frogs. Irene, again, like I told you, they're a team that, when it comes to the districts and a chance at postseason, they're not a team to be slept on. That's for sure. They remind me of this Menno team from a couple of years ago that did not do great during the regular season, but really turned it on at districts. So, all right. Well, I tell you what, 11 runs, 14 hits, and 4 errors for Irene. 14 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors for Menno. So very entertaining game tonight, a fun game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, I'll be at Tabor on Thursday as they kick off for check days. And so that'll be a week from tonight. I hope you'll tune in if you can't make it, and you can just always tune in. We love to have people tuning in. Again, on behalf of all of our sponsors, let's give them a final shout out here. But we want to thank all of our sponsors: Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance, Elkhorn Valley Bank, Lakeview Golf Course, Joe's Substation, James Steel, Central Farmers Cooperative, Corner Nugget, Menno State Bank, High Street Insurance and Financial, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, Cedar Security Bank, The Keg, TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, Beer Garden in Menno, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Larson Carpet, Pecos Repair, Rural Manufacturing, and Hoots Bar and Grill. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, as well as our pregame sponsor, Hanson Briggs, our Joe Labarge and America's Best Realty, our national anthem sponsor on behalf of South Dakota Special Olympics. Our scoreboard sponsor, Grassland Heating and Cooling, along with Mama J's Bar and Cafe, sponsoring all of our pitching changes. And then we also want to thank Chris Hay Grinding, who sponsor Who's on Deck. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. Join me tomorrow morning on At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, Chloe Korneman, and Noah Hansen, who you saw tonight, will be in the first hour from 7 until 8. And then from 8 until 9, you will have, from 8 until 9, we will have Dylan Wagner of Vermilion Tanager Softball and Nate Robertson, formerly of Vermilion Baseball, who is now an assistant coach for South Dakota State. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight, as they're starting to turn off the lights, so we will say good night on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. As my grandma used to say, Grandma love you, Grandma do, you have a beautiful night.